How to read it? Common fellas how to say that. Someone is the one who decides it, right? Planning to delay the meeting.
Where are the others? Where are the others? So many. Yeah.
No, I don't know. See, when you see, something yeah, please come here. I'm already there in this company. I didn't bring time. It's okay.
Video on. On नहीं हुआ है. Yeah. No.
That's why it's not.
If you are things alone,
I think there's a battery.
Not battery, that remote itself is a problem.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I am Vidhi Vatke, the Saraswati Dance to today's meeting. Before we start, I want to ask all of you, what is the significance of 17th May? Does anyone know?
May 17th.
Why is today's date or important?
I know tomorrow is some morning.
makeup story.
It doesn't take a lot. I got all clearance for
Did something happen with WMC?
Some family day or not at WMC. Some family day or something. Not close.
So May 17th is World Telecommunication Day.
Oh my God. Please stay on you.
Prompted me.
I have to fight now. I don't.
And it's also World Hypertension Day.
You gave me that already.
I'll go there.
Let's delete it from the records.
So yeah, it's World Hypertension Day and World Telecommunication Day. So before we get started, let's first reflect on the mission of the Toastmasters Club We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in developing greater self-confidence and personal growth. Few reminders before we begin. I request you all to abstain from topics like politics, religion, and religious faith. Kindly switch off your mobile phones or keep it on silent as there won't be any disturbance during the meeting. The washrooms are on my right and so are the exit signs. May I now call upon our President, Toastmaster Abhinda.
Quite a hectic day today running around. Okay. Thank you, Sergeant Ram, for the brilliant start. You have indeed infused the positive energy in us. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What is it called?
Good afternoon.
I call meeting number 483 to order. It's time to introduce our guests.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ananya Mahalakshmi, to be precise, yes, from Mahalakshmi or I am currently a student in university. I study in Christ University in Bangalore, and I have come to Bahrain for like my summer break as such. So this 1 month, hopefully that I will continue with this and to come here. I'm studying law, so and actually no, I was part of IOGC before, Young Orators Gathers Club of in the Indian Club. So it's safe to say I'm well acquainted with how it's Toastmasters work and how it goes on and everything. And hopefully I just have a good time with people and such.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening, all. My name is Prachi Pandey. I'm a 12th grader and I'm the member of the WMC Gavins Club. Hi.
We are all meeting after an amazing and successful family day that was held in April. Let's do a small exercise. Please stretch your right hand. Stretch your right hand. Now, this way. Okay. Then go do a small, no. I'm just bend your forearm. Okay, then take it back and pat your back. Pat your back. 3 times. Because we deserve this for conducting such a fabulous family day event. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for your active participation. With special thanks to event coordinators, contributors, performers, and sponsors. I'm sure these sort of events create more synergy among our members and give us an opportunity to mingle with our Gaviliers and their parents. Let's give a round of applause to our sponsors and all who work tirelessly to make this event a successful one. Today, our TMOD chose the topic which is close to our heart. A topic that resonates with innocence, curiosity, and reminisces the moments that we often associate with our childhood, the child in me. Jagjit Singh had put it across so beautifully in one of his ghazal. Ye daulat dile lo, ye shaurat dile lo, भले छीन लो मुझसे मेरी जवानी मगर मुझको लौटा दो बचपन का सावन वो कागज की कश्ती वो बारिश का पानी वो कागज की कश्ती वो बारिश का पानी which translates as take my wealth, fame and my youth, in return take me back to my childhood days. Each one of us carries within us a spark of childhood, a part of ourselves that remains untamed by the complexities of adulthood. This inner child is a treasure trove of creativity, imagination, and boundless enthusiasm. It is the part of us that finds wonder in the simplest things, that sees magic in everyday moments. As we journey through life, it's easy to get caught up with responsibilities, deadlines, and the never-ending hustle. We forget to nurture that childlike spirit within us, the part that laughs without inhibition, dreams without limits, and embraces life with open arms. Think about the times when you felt most alive, most inspired. Chances are it was when your inner child was shining through, whether it's through pursuing a hobby, spending time with loved ones, or simply allowing to be ourselves to be silly and carefree. Nurturing the child in us brings immense fulfillment and happiness. As we are almost at the end of our term, I feel honored to be associated with this great Toastmasters Club and to have given our best to take this club to greater heights. I am proud to inform you that Toastmaster Emmanuel Williams will be representing our club in the international speech category at the district conference. Who knows? He may go on to win the world champion of 2024 in this centennial year. We are thankful for this beautiful community of Toastmasters. And as we are in the centennial year of Toastmasters, let's give a round of applause to our great visionary leader, Ralph C. Smedley, for giving us this platform to express ourselves in front of great audience. Let me end my address with this beautiful quote: "Old men can make war, but it's children who will make history." Let's be the child and make positive impact on society and create history. It's now time to adopt the agenda. VP Education is missing, so Prabodhaji, standing VP Education. You please, sir.
Yeah,
I guess
I
still
think
the
all-
one person is missing is our grammarian.
grammar.
Cape
Cape Jam. Okay.
He's always mobile. See,
Yeah. If he can join online, it will be better. Then you can assign someone. Grammar can.
No, he will be there.
He'll be there. Okay.
He promised me he'll be there before time.
In that case, agenda is okay.
Then it remains as a promise.
Agenda is okay.
Around 5 minutes later, 2 minutes it should be. That's what is time. We can wait for the other. No, not now. Not under my interface. I'm just talking about the agenda.
Yeah.
That's Toastmasters studies.
So all fine then.
All fine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So somebody may adopt the agenda. Okay, Dr. Saji has adopted the agenda and TGM Manoj Pandey is seconded. Okay, so we are done with this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce the MC of this evening. In his own words, former VP membership with 2 TMI acquisition certificates, founding partner at MU Designs, a graphic design agency in Bahrain since 2008. Proud father of 2 boys and a furry girl. Enjoys food, music, TV, movies, gardening, and animals. I wonder how he is getting so much time for all his hobbies. Well, his name sounds similar to a superstar, and he too hails from Nama, Bangalore. He is not Rajinikanth, but superstar of WMC. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming with your thunderous applause. Toastmaster Patel. Hometown. He was a conductor then.
Evening. I thought the president normally does talk about strategies, especially talks about the international reach that the Toastmaster has, number of countries, number of people. I thought that was what I prepared, but I guess you missed it. But I'll not get into the numbers. I will go into what I get to do. That is, I get the privilege.
Yes, 2 minutes. Exactly.
Considering one time. And I use the word of the day. I use the word of the day. But you use it. I'm not it.
I get to introduce all the members who are associated getting the, what do I say, the program done for today. So I get to introduce the role players, the people, the speakers, evaluators, and of course, the general evaluator. Before that, I have to talk about our club. That is how we introduce our club to new members, the guests, and also from the old members. What I thought was, why not ask our members about our club? So we make us a little more serious. When was our club formed? So with you being the president, you should know. Not president, ex-president.
This is 2003. Date. Are you asking for
October.
charter date? Charter on the club is on the certificate, it is 17th of October 2006.
Thank you.
We go by the birth certificate.
Somebody had asked me that question, I had to find. You know who formed that club? P.K. Manoj. Who was the founder of and who was the sponsor? What is it?
TL Joy. TL Joy.
Maybe. Who was the mentor, the first mentor? But you can still say. Okay. No guessing for who the first president of the club was, since you already answered.
Still not here.
About the grammarian, though we came in late.
I thought you were asking about the
He was one of the youngest in our club. Of course, we got beaten by new members who came in for younger than him.
I'm a
Dr. Bali.
He's the youngest entrepreneur, and you can see him cruising in his sports car with the foot down on a bike.
but still you believe.
It's still late, but the best part is that he's not cruising, he's actually going from one outlet to the other and checking how the business goes. So that is help. You want to tell us about the word of the day?
Oh, yes.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters, and I'm a green KOD. The word of the day, I will be your grammarian today. My job is to watch for grammatical errors, as well as look for any good usage of words like good usage of terms, etc. I will point those out as well as the bad stuff. I won't mention any names, so don't worry. So the word of the day today is reminisce. Reminisce means to indulge in enjoyable recollection of past events. It's a verb, and some good examples are Murali was reminiscing over his old school days. He reminisced with his old high school friends at the reunion. Another good usage of the sentence is, we Toastmasters a few minutes ago reminisced about the old days back when Dr. Babu was the president and WMC was thriving. It still is. Well, that's the word of the day. The more you use it, the higher ego you could get at the end when I mention your name. Thank you.
I had a quick word with our timer today. And I told her that anytime, if anybody on work starts talking a little more than the requirement, he can use the racket to let the person know that they're using extra time, including me.
You are telling this to us or Dr. Babu?
Then he's going to watch his watch to ensure that others watch what they're going to say. So that's what his role is. He's a champion, international champion, and very romantic. Anytime given a chance, he talks about his romance. I think he had a crush when he was in school, with a school teacher as well. Those father Norman, you want to tell us about the timing? Not the question. Timing.
One thing which we can never get back is time. And the sad part is you don't have any control over it to slow it down or to make it fast. And each and every time or moment counts because in your life, each and every moment matters. Let all of us make this time a memorable and meaningful one so that it can be kept as reminiscence for our future. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. My role as a timer is to monitor the time for all the prepared speeches, evaluators, as well as the table topics. The time allotted for the prepared speeches is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll be showing the green light. At 5 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow light. At 6 minutes, I'll be showing the red. Actually, the light is not working, so I'm showing the red. At 6 minutes, I'll be showing the red racket. And for the prepared speeches, for the other people, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll be showing the green racket. At 6 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow racket. And at 7 minutes, I'll be showing the red racket. And it will remain on until the speaker finishes the speech. And there will be 30 seconds grace for all the speakers. For the evaluators, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be showing the green racket. At 2.5 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow racket. At 3 minutes, I'll be showing the red racket. And it will remain on until the speaker finishes the speech and 30 seconds grace will be given. And for the table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll be showing the green. At 1.5 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow. At 2 minutes, I'll be showing the red racket. And even for the table topics, there is a 30 seconds grace. And I'll be giving my report at the end of the meeting. Back to I'll be giving my report when the Toastmaster day calls me. Back to you. Back to you.
Thank you. Let's say, aha, our counter. Aha, because I happen to be lucky enough to induct her into our club. She had to be pushed by her husband, just like the child in her. Though she is into psychology and helps a lot of students and others get over their anxiety. Today she's going to keep a close watch on what we say. So let me introduce Padmashree, who is a raconteur.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. The purpose of our counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or filler words by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen the overused words including and, well, but, so, and you know. I'll also listen for filler sounds including etc. I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as this means, that means, etc. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times
that each speaker use these expressions. Thank you.
Psychologist Stephanie, in a book, Child in You, helped millions of people reconnect with their inner child. The shadow child representing the deepest insecurities and self-esteem that was injured and unstable. Quite heavy. I'm not getting it there because I can't handle it. I'm going on with the lighter one where we can keep it light, bring in the innocence, bring in the carefree ability of a child, not bother about your surroundings and not being bothered about being judged, which is some quality that we, as we grew, adapted and let go of it. There is a child in everyone hidden somewhere, and this is what I'm trying to get in my theme today. So basically, it is to talk about what you did as a little kid, which you might not do it today, or something that you didn't get an opportunity to do it when you were a kid, and you're doing it today because you have the ability and the privilege to do it. How many of you have flown a kite? I flew a kite when I was a kid on the terrace, and would have kite flights with my neighbors and anybody, even the strangers. And when your kite gets cut, and suddenly you just drop everything, and I would jump off from my terrace to my neighbors to the next terrace till I managed to get the string that is still floating. Today, I wouldn't think of doing it. And I don't think I will let my kids ever do it as well. Because now you suddenly realize that the gravity of the situation, but as a child, you have no such inhibition. You can just do it on the go. So that is something that I think as a child we can come up with. You want to add about your child?
Oh, I was also a child, yeah.
You were born this way.
Yeah.
Be careful, here to wet.
Yeah. I just remember that how we used to play on the streets and how nicely we played the flute, and then there was a thief, then he will run away, and then we will be gangs of all the police officers, we keep jumping on the terraces, houses, jumping in gardens, spoiling like the Hanuman did to the Lanka, and then going, jumping, catching, and that person is still today is making us run. So what do you do?
We'll jump into our education sessions today. Let me first talk about our evaluator. It's again the same person who can stay calm, relaxed at any given situation. He is always there to chip in when required, take up any role, even if it is at the last moment that he is called in. Not just in our club, in other clubs, as well as outside programs. P.K. Manu, can you please read out the objective of the icebreaker? I want to see you stand.
The objective of any icebreaker speech is to know the strength of the speech. And it's ice breaking, just knowing your abilities. What are your inherent qualities and what are that you inherit as a good quality that you want to speak of? What are your weaknesses and strengths? That is how you showcase it. Over to you.
Thank you. To tell you about our speaker, a dedicated banking professional who combines a love for financial precision with a cheerful and approachable personality. Despite being naturally shy and quiet, she enjoys making connections with clients and colleagues, always brightening the day with a genuine smile and a positive attitude. She's going to be our first speaker, and this is going to be her first icebreaker Best part is, I happen to be a mentor as well. So, can I invite Toastmaster Hita to come and join us? Right, or you can- You can.
Your turn. Embracing vulnerability.
Embracing vulnerability from painting to flourishing. So we went from painting to flourishing.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats so high on waves and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd. A crowd. Is it a bunch of golden daffodils? No, not really. There I was, trying to channel the beauty of nature through a poetry, and I found myself standing in front of a group of students with matching attire of daffodils. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. For those who don't know, my name is Geeta, and like you all, I'm a person made up of my past experiences. I'm here today because I believe that this particular experience will make me a better person tomorrow. I'm reminded of a moment from my past, an incident that happened exactly 28 years ago and left a lasting impression on me. Today, as I embark my self-discovery journey through Toastmasters, I want to share the story with you all. It was a beautiful spring day, much like the one William Wordsworth describes in his poem, when I found myself standing in front of an audience and ready to recite these timeless verses. As I began to recite, a rush of excitement and bad news started flowing through my veins. But then, without any warnings, my surroundings blurred and everything went dark. I collapsed. Now, you might be wondering how someone could faint while reciting a poem. Trust me, I have asked the same question myself many times since that day. The truth is, it is not just the heat in the auditorium caused me to faint. In fact, it was the combination of physical exhaustion, stress, and fear. As I regained consciousness, lying on the floor, with all concerned faces peering at me, I couldn't help but feel a sense of embarrassment washed over me. There I was, trying to convey the beauty and wonder of nature through a poem, and I had become the center of attention, all for wrong reasons. But in that moment of vulnerability, something remarkable happened. As I stand up and brushing off the embarrassment and apologizing to the audience, I realized that I had a choice to make. I could let that experience define me, or let that experience to use as an opportunity for self-growth and self-discovery. And so, with a deep breath, a newfound sense of determination, I continued with my recitation. And when I reached the last lines of the poem, despite the stumble, despite the fainting spell, I saw the supportive gazes of my audience. I felt a profound sense of accomplishment. Reflecting the reminiscence that I realized now, sometimes a meaningful moment in your life comes not out from your successes, but from your failures. It is in that moment of vulnerability and imperfections you truly connect with others, learn from others, and we discover our inner strength and resilience that lies within us. Here I am today, stepping out of my comfort zone and into this room filled with supportive faces. Toastmasters for me represents a safe space, a community where I can challenge myself, learn from others, and grow to become ultimately a good communicator and a leader. I'm thankful for this opportunity that this platform that Toastmasters provides individuals like me to grow and evolve. I'm thankful to my mentor, Toastmaster Murali, and all my fellow Toastmasters for encouraging me to take this leap of faith. As I wrap up my icebreaker speech, I want to leave you all a simple yet powerful message. Embrace your journey. Embrace your failures. Embrace your vulnerabilities. Embrace all those beautiful messages in your life. Life is too short to let the fear dictate your action. Thank you.
That was pretty good.
You're speaking as a PMOD or as a member?
Our next evaluator, what do I say about him? You know, if he as a Toastmaster is a treat to hear, not just here in our club, anywhere he goes. The way he talks, the way he delivers, this smooth transition and very simple. And one of the best qualities that I enjoy is to inculcate or bring in whatever happens in a forum into his speech, which sometimes is difficult. Not sometimes, but most times it's difficult. For me. See, he does it as if he is having a very casual way of talking. And this is what he said when I asked him to do something. Best communication is when you have best connection with your listeners. A good communication is not so much how well we speak, it's about how well we are understood. I mean, he is an avid reader who will evaluate another passionate reader. So you want to give the objective of the speech, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim.
Thank you, Toastmaster Murali, for those kind words, my dear Toastmasters and most honored guests. Well, this is a very interesting subject for this project, which we all love, communication. And it's level 2, project 1 from presentation mastery. And the project objectives are for the member to learn various types of communication and identify her own primary style of communication. It's also about the member to share her primary communication style and the impact that she had on others with that style. So the speaker is expected to deliver a well-organized speech for 5 to 7 minutes. So as an evaluator, I would like to encourage all of you to listen, render your best ears to this great speaker, and let's, as Ita said, embrace some great lessons today's on communication, today's speech. So I'm sure this speech is going to be something that we'll reminisce for a long time. Good luck. Over to you.
So when we talk about WMC and its legacy, the different events that WMC has done over the years, this person has had a very prominent role in making it happen. When I asked her to give me a small little introduction, she said, she put it this way, member since 2004, HR professional with a passion for reading, writing, poetry and theatre. And then I put an emoji of being a wicked man, that I could say anything I want because nobody knows stop me. The door is closed, I can even run away. I think she is responsible for making a difference in the lives of many Toastmasters, be it young or old. Because have one-to-one session with people, I don't have, but has made a big difference.
Disclaimer.
But trust me, all those people who have had a chance to work with our speaker has gone back very happy and from where they are to the next level. Be it just improving on their speech or being part of a competition. If anybody has watched her on stage during the speech club, that I have watched it, you will see the difference that this person makes the audience feel extra confident in standing and speak. So this is something that is commendable. So let me invite the second speaker, DPM Rekha. I can speak. And one speak.
The single biggest problem with communication is that the illusion that it has taken place. When Bernard Shaw says this, it resonates in us because how many times we have experienced that we say something and it's completely taken in the wrong way, and then we have to firefight. Good afternoon, Toastmasters, the day and my lovely audience. My journey with communication was zilch when I was small. I didn't feel any need to communicate, that the born introvert that I was and always immersed in books, all I had to do was grunt a yes or a no and get away with life. Till I reached a stage when I was reading Tale of Two Cities and I realized the value of friendship. I looked up from my book and realized I have no friends. And that's when I said, oh my God, I need to cultivate some friends. So I walked up to the girl next to me in the bench and I said, do you read? It was as director. She looked at me and said, of course I read. I read Mills and Boons on and off. Believe me, I didn't see a word. But something on my face said so much that she just got up from the bench and walked away and out of my life. How do I find a friend? I remember Jane Austen saying how important small talk is in cultivating friendships. So I sidled up to the next one sitting in my class and I said, you had your lunch? She said, yeah. I said, what did you have? Curry and rice. What curry? She just looked at me, did your mom make the curry? She said, my friend is calling, I'll come back later. I made sure that I didn't have to communicate any further. Pick up few more books from the library and go on. Still, life played a cruel joke on me. Or I think it was karma's revenge that it put me in HR. Here I am waking up every single day thinking how to navigate a day without communicating with anyone. And there it puts me in HR where I am. It's people profession. Every day, every minute, people are walking in and I have to talk. I have to make the small talk, which is just next to impossible for me. I wish I were a child. A child can express any emotion that it wants. It can just roll around on this floor and throw a tantrum. But as an adult, you have to be so careful as to what you say. Your words could hurt, offend, or annihilate. I realized that the first week as head of HR, I just picked up the extension and I said to one of my colleagues, please can I see you in my office? And I put the phone down and I was busy with something. It took him 10 minutes to reach. But by the time he reached, he was sweaty. He had his whole employment file with him. And he came and he said, is everything okay? I said, yeah, I just wanted something from you and that's why I didn't have the time. He just plopped onto the chair and he said, do you even realize when you say, come and see me in my office, when HR says what it means? I was shocked as well. He said, it's either to sack or to give a warning letter. Why else would you call me? And I'm looking at it and thinking all I wanted was a simple help in Excel. That's why I had called you. And he said, you know, I even called my wife and told her, I think I'm getting sacked. And that's when I realized the power of words, that words speak on their own without the intention of what you want to speak. And that made me think that I really need to have an idea of how to start a conversation with people. It's my boss, when I met him in the corridor, I said, I need to discuss something. And he said, okay, I'll give you time. In the next 5 minutes, the secretary called me and said, he's calling you. I went in and he said, what is it that you want to discuss? And I said, it's just about some attendance. That you gave me a scare in the corridor when you said that you wanted something happening in the office. That's what I thought. That's when I realized that people take the words as per their current state of mind and not as per our state of mind when we communicate. And hence, words are perceived as to mean what it means to them at that point in time. I am impatient. I am an introvert. I try to avoid conversations as much as possible. And I sit and I learned that compassion, that you need to be compassionate towards that other person before you start talking. Because if that is not felt within, there is no way that I'm going to convey a message that will go as not offensive, not threatening, or not angering. Hence, I need to ask about how's your family? How are you doing? What did you do yesterday? Till we reach that level of comfort, we are not able to carry the conversation forward and take it to the level that we want to. And I've learned to have that equanimity. It still is a struggle, but when I stand here today, I say that I've managed the most difficult of exits with dignity and with so much of humaneness that people come back and say that you are one of the most compassionate HR that we have come across. Otherwise, usually HR is something that we try to avoid. When HR is coming, we go through another corridor. I realized that my words have an impact. I realized that when I speak, I need to not think about what is it that I want to convey, but I need to think about what is it that that person will accept, or what is it that that person will understand when I say this. Hence, every word needs to speak in the way the speaker wants to perceive. Mark Twain said that the difference between the right word and the almost right word is rather large, like a lightning and a lightning rod. And every day I try to navigate to reach this place where I can Speak with compassion.
Next evaluator who's going to evaluate the speaker, third speaker. Talking about him, I would say, since all of us are from India, I'm sure you're all familiar with Sashi Tharoor. Yeah, I don't think I'll be wrong in saying that he is our club's Sashi Tharoor. Yeah. His diction, his command on the language, the way he presents, is a life coach, and his sessions that happens here are absolutely free for all of us. And when he charges, when you want to go meet him outside, he charges, but this is a free session. He's our very own international speech champion of Bahrain, who's going to represent Bahrain again in Kuwait next week. Next week he'll be competing there as well. And the best part is, we both have something in common.
Both from Bangalore.
Both of them Bangalore. Can I ask Toastmaster Emmanuel to read out the objectives of the third speaker?
Thank you, Toastmasters of the day, Murli, for taking the liberty to introduce me the way you wanted to, because I didn't want to give you any framework. So good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. I believe that evaluator's job has always been one of the most responsible tasks in a Toastmasters club, because it is you who owes your mentee or your speaker the development within this framework of Toastmasters. So having said that, I think I'm going to be evaluating Dr. Sachi, who's the speaker for this evening, at level 2, project 2, presentation mastery. And the purpose of this project would be to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how you use nonverbal communication when delivering a speech. So referring to nonverbal communication would be an enunciation on body language. I wish Saji the all the best.
Our third speaker is a doctor by profession. He helps us or talks about people staying fit. Don't look at me. Evaluate better. So he is somebody who even took part in a 10-kilometer run. It's walk the dog. Then I can walk, but it just takes a week. So he did it after his MBBS. He decided to become a pediatrician so that he could keep the child within him alive. I'm sure all the kids that walk into his clinic, he must be bringing out the child in him to corner with them and make them more comfortable, and he must be having quite a lot of patience. Let me invite Dr. Saji, who's got a game plan, and we're going to watch him with this parenting game.
Sidhu, you have board exams tomorrow. Can you please just turn off the TV and go to study? Are you listening to me? Can you just turn off the TV? You have exams. Just gently tell me. Listen to parents. Nobody in the house is listening. If you're not turning this in 5 minutes, I'm going to throw every toys outside. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening. This incident might resemble in some of the families. Just ran a poll. Parenting is fun. Who are with me? Parenting is exhausting. So we have only few. So let's see, for me, parenting is a game. For every new parent, managing temper tantrums is very important. Because if you leave that, it will end up in having, like, they will find a way to get easy things. So being a pediatrician by profession, we are happy to see a baby cry. Whenever someone calls in the labor, the doctor, baby is there. First question, is the baby crying? Okay, fine. So whenever the baby cries, we are happy. So managing my child's tender tantrum was quite easier. Like we were in the Ludo, we were saying this, I want this toy. It just on the floor, cry. Okay. So then, okay, so I just got the toy, and then the house I said, okay, this is the first and last. The next time, if you cry, I will just walk away. Next week, same thing, toy, cry. So I just like, okay. I just went up. Was just in the little far away so that nobody sees, and everyone was like, then I came back. I said, you still want to talk? Yes. Then again. Then the point that, okay, he said, okay, next week I'll get it done. Fine, deal. But that next week never came. But the thing is, children has to find a way, a rule that they know that, okay, we should be asking things in such a way. When you play a game, it is a set rules. So you have to go by the rule. In parenting, there is no such rule. The rule changes. This works for me, but this is quite hard and fast rule. But some people find it, oh, there's two rules. So some people find it a new rule. So set your own rules. Tip number one. The second tip is this is for new parenting. This is for like little grown-up kids. Like grown-up kids need some kind of a parent to be like a friend. Like when we were kids also, we think, okay, hope my father was a friend. But then when we grew up, it's like the usual stories. So I called my friend and said, okay, so you should be like a friend to your son. But he took very literally. He said, yeah, your advice worked well. Now I used to drink with him only. That literally. What I meant was, okay, if he's doing some like Insta Reels or something, go join, encourage. But we don't take that literally. Just be a friend so that the kids will be opening up to form a trust, because relationship is built on trust, faith. The third tip, it's like common. See, in a game, we fail. What we do? We will work on things. Okay, this is the area we lost. We'll do again. Parenting is a game. We all fail. It's okay to fail. We learn from our mistakes. We see how to do right things. Remember the first incident. I yelled at my child. So what's next? You walked away as if nothing happened? Because he's your son. You can yell at him. But do we yell at our boss? We take the kids for granted. See, kids have feelings. It may be right or wrong. Accept their feelings. Then take responsibility, sit with them, explain with them. Because for a problem, this responsibility should come from our side. Kids will not have any. The kids are like kids, because that's why Murali was saying, like, when a kite flies, he just runs, no thought. So we have to take responsibility. This is the third tip. So people were thinking like all parents has bear all the thing. No, see, parents have their own difficulties, like the landscape change from a joint family to a nuclear family, and then the current one, board exams. Whenever board exams comes, what is that? What is the grade? So much pressure. We just transfer to the kid. that is not to be taken, then of course peer influence. So everyone have their peer influence. So this is as a parent, then kid also have their peer influence. So we also need time to manage. So the 3 tips: don't get emotional, accept their feelings. It's okay to make mistakes. Define your own rules. Parenting is just a game. Over to you, Dustin.
Well, that was not how my parents. Yeah, that's a big question. My mother never slept because she had a problem with the hands every time she slept. My dad had a good health. I kept telling him, I will not change the way it's in the DNA. This is how it is. Let's take a picture of all of us. Then make it. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not going to beat
You know, Yashodan Abhenka lost his father recently. So shall we stand for 10 seconds and pay homage to his?
He's coming back to me. We'll take a picture and then we'll have coffee and snacks and.
Quick break, huh?
Quick break.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Please come first. You can stand here.
Very sick anyway. It was better to
I don't know how you will do it. No, ladies can stand in front and short.
No, maybe we'll have a.
Yeah.
Or we'll make 5, 6.
Come.
You're going to spend the whole of the time of the break.
No, yeah, stop. Yeah.
No, these 10 minutes for here.
Come.
Yeah, come. I thought we'll make a bigger.
Just you should talk about
Bye-bye. Yes, thank you. I think
Yeah, please be a bit.
video recording for what? Or more?
Yeah, yes. Thank you. Quick break, huh? 10 minutes.
Why you not taking photograph?
Yes. Yes, still trying to remember how we know each other.
Actually, you know. He was like, her dad was with her,
Yeah.
and your dad was with you.
He's just gonna. God. Okay, I just knew it.
Thank you.
It's only one month before you.
Okay,
This is.
Over, I think.
Yeah, this one, this one.
You want my help? I can delete.
One. Which ribbon you're taking?
Icebreaker.
Icebreaker you have to give one.
Yeah. Then evaluating.
Yeah, well, tabletop you got on?
They were talking there.
Okay. So this way. I take it from the down one. Yeah. Between.
First time.
No, first time.
They were talking. A speaker.
We all know wrong, but that you don't know, it's your responsibility. Other than that.
It doesn't.
Yeah, no, this, the tape is not there. I just got it from you. We'll put from you.
Rubber band. Then. The results also I send it to the sir.
Yeah, so we will write it.
Yeah, so where are the.
The shoot will- I'll ask this. He has done it. So what is it? There are some old. Not bad, since
I think that's proposal. So I'll keep these ribbons inside. I'll keep these ribbons inside this.
yeah.
Yes, sir. What is this?
This is that software I did. USB microphone. Is there? No?
Okay, Saturns cost are not added yet.
Yeah, that I will add. There were any cells here extra?
No. That day when I checked, they were in. Battery, no?
Yeah.
No. So mobile number email is.
Okay, just keep it. Okay. This one is.
സുരഭിലെ ഒരു പേപ്പർ എന്നിട്ട് പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. വായിച്ചോട്ടെ എന്തോ സാധനം വായിച്ചോട്ടെ. അതെ വായിച്ചോട്ടെ വായിക്കാണ്ട് ഒന്ന് വായിച്ചേക്കും. അത് ടേബിൾ ടോപ്പിക്സിന്റെ സമയമുണ്ട്. താമസിക്കുന്നത് പത്മശ്രീ. ഞാൻ പിന്നിപ്പോ മാറി മടുപ്പ് ക്ലാസ്.
अभी जो नया वाला पिक्चर है, हाँ ये जो कलर्स है ना वो वाला एक मिनट डाउनलोड करके रख दीजिएगा. तो मैं initially I will speak, then I ask you to put this photo. Okay, and then last one will put a photo.
ओके
ठीक है सर.
वो आप जब बोलेगा मैं ओपन करूंगा.
इसको डाउनलोड कर दीजिए.
डाउनलोड कर दिया.
हाँ, और ओपन भी कर.
अभी
ओपन करके रख लीजिए.
हाँ ओपन कर. सिर्फ यही इमेज ना बस. ओके.
Actually, right like this one. If I want to, which is so beautiful.
It's time to come. Exactly.
20 minutes. So you have to cut down on the speech.
Yes.
11 minutes later from now.
No. 5:21. No, okay.
No, you start letting go.
10 minutes.
They're running a little late, but for the timer. Not much, only 20 minutes.
No, 10 minutes.
I guess our general level is having a very good experience. I want to do it wrong this time, but I hope you do.
I'll talk about one more story of mine and then we'll move on to the next topic.
This is 10 minutes.
Riding on bike,
That one.
you know, when I started working, this is about, I convinced my parents to buy me a bike. I free flow on the bike in terms of cruising it, having those very sharp turns, forcing with the bike, being the first to jump out of a traffic light with the bike. But that was not the same with a friend of mine. She was not very good at convincing her parents. When she moved to Bahrain and got a job, and when she made enough money, the first bike she bought was a Harley Davidson. So it is basically trying to give in to something that you wanted as a child or a youngster, which you are not allowed. When you're on your own, you are the boss, so you can fulfill that choice of yours. She rides the bike like nobody's business. Yeah, a number of miles that she's clocked on a bike is amazing. She rides in different countries. She rode from here to Qatar recently. That's something that you can do to fulfill your childhood dream, if you want to say that.
Who are you talking about?
Anybody, this, anybody. You have dreams that you got fulfilled.
I just thought.
You said somebody went to Qatar.
Yeah, she rode a bike all the way.
Who is the she?
Who is that friend of mine?
Oh,
Friend of mine, he said.
I was like, when did you?
Hey, do I look like a she?
And I was.
Harley Davidson, but I didn't hear who.
I was.
I said she was not very good at.
Who is that?
Yeah, we need to know.
Proper noun, not pronoun.
Yeah. Next session, that's gonna be fun. We had, I had another Toastmaster in my earlier club. His store is called the table topic as the jazz of any meeting or Toastmaster meetings. So today to conduct the jazz, we'll have an interesting Toastmaster who is very good in debating. In between his clicks and snapping of fingers, I'm sure he's going to enthrall us with his theme and topic. Can we have Toastmaster Vivek?
Thank you, Jazz Master of the Day. You want the judges? When, when I have a major role player, but the major role player is him, I can never be the Jazz Master. That's him. All right, so theme of the day, everyone knows. I also am from the Proverbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to all give proverbs. All are the proverbs related to children. And let's see, I want to know your thoughts about it. All right. So the first proverb: bricks and mortar make a house, laughter of children makes a home. I repeat, bricks and mortar make a house, laughter of children makes a home. Ananya Mahalakshmi. World is a stage. You want to know how's your skills?
Bricks and
Mortar make a house, laughter of children makes a home.
bricks and mortar makes a house, laughter of children make a home. From what I can decipher from this proverb, to have a place, to have a shelter, right? It's made of bricks and mortar if you're rich, and if you live in like rural areas, you have huts. But like, yeah, all of that, that just makes a home. Like you just have a shelter where you can live after office time, after your office hours, you go back, you sleep, whatever. But what makes a home is your children. Now, I'm a child myself. I can't necessarily make comments on this topic, but I see my parents, right? So like now I've come back from college. I don't want to be an egoistic person here, but I know I make it a home. I see my parents smile when they come back. I see them being more enthusiastic, like, oh, let's go out, or let's do this, which they usually don't do on their own when I'm not there. So children make home, their laughters, their tantrums, their call it whatever, they make a home. Shelter is just something you go back to, you sleep, you eat, something that protects you from the rain or just the outside world. But home is something where you feel safe, where you're happy, where you know that no one's going to judge you and you are your own person. And children are usually that safe space for parents as such. So yeah.
Still short.
Right, for our next speech topic. A little bit tricky. A man at 16 will prove a child at 60. It's a French proverb, so Toastmaster proverb. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Okay? Yes, you A man at 16 will prove a child at 60. Will prove. Anyone did not get it.
All the words
So, forget about this. How can it smile story? Connect 60 with 60. Yes. No, I am thinking my own state, my own state, the age. If I can remains back to my those days, that time I was studying in my child, in college, in my village, and actually I'm very naughty. Too much of anything you can think of a child can do, I did. Yes, too much. Just because of me, there are lots of fighting in my home. My younger brother, my younger sister, they always fight with me because so much things I did, which now I remember, and I'm thinking at this time that what was that age? What was that time? It will never come back. But okay, that's fine. Since those childhood is gone, but I'm thinking if I can able to bring those childhood back, even at this time. So I try to connect with all my relatives because my parents got and the elder child and everything in my head. That's why I'm thinking I should make them the same environment like before in my childhood. So let's see if I can able to do that. Thank you. I was just imagining what if I turned up to the table topics competition and said the same thing.
Most of the time, you don't just say it. We forget anything.
All right, the next one. Okay, and the last one. Treat thoughts as guests and wishes as gifts. Those also so much. May the evergreen man come.
Oh my God.
So I'll repeat it.
Yeah.
Treat thoughts as guests and wishes as gifts.
If we own each and every thought that we have, then 100 lifetimes are not going to be enough, because we strive hard to make something successful out of the things we own, whether it is anger, whether it is too much money, try to cover it, try to protect it. Thoughts are as such. Now, if we don't own the thoughts, but if we playfully keep those thoughts going without owning it, then we will become better people, better individuals. I always slid off those mark sheets whenever I never played much of thought into it in my life. All those
important sessions in school, I just slid them through. I never held them to force. All those things that people said are extremely important to have ambition, I just slid it off and I played. But as a result, I'm here standing as someone who has achieved something in life. So no one is going to be a failure. Everyone will be successful as long as they lead their life where they slide those thoughts and own only one thing, which is their integrity to it. I think I commented on half the topic. I think I'll come to you.
I was going to say, the vicious part I didn't hear. But I hope that it, it kind of stimulated your brains, and as far as tabletop masters is concerned, that's more than enough. With that, may I hand the control back to our taskmaster?
Vivek, can you just repeat to that last?
Not just guests.
Yes,
she's okay. She's as a guest.
Like, do you want to comment?
No, I want to hear from him on the second statement, 1660. Okay, look, I had actually 5 or 6. It goes like this. First is bricks and mortar make a house. Laughter of children makes a home. First one. Second, a man at 16 will prove a child at 60. Will prove a child at 60.
Yeah, will be.
Mature man at 60. Okay.
Yeah, just like.
No, it could be that some guy who was forced to mature earlier, will become a child later. It will become a child much more faster. Then next is children of certain sorrow but uncertain joy.
All I need is Dr. Sajeev.
You trying to bring Confucius and
See, you cannot expect the intellectual stuff when he is the DMOD. Next is Proverbs are the children of experience. Oh, that was simplest one. Next, late children are early orphans. Oh, okay. Treat thoughts as guests and wishes as kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more.
Let me be a little more serious. The next thing on the agenda is President will be doing this business session, and after that, we will have the nomination committee.
Yes.
Chaired by Toastmaster Sukumar. Over to you, President.
Thank you. Good evening once again. Okay, let's start with the meeting minutes of our last meeting. Could you please read out the top 2 meeting minutes particularly on behalf of
Short minutes of meeting number 482 held on 5th April. Surgeon at Arms TM Yashodan Apyankar welcomed the House at 3:35 p.m. Theme for the meeting was My Health, My Right. President TM Ovid opened address and introduced TMOD Dr. Sajikumar. TMOD then introduced the role players of the day. Education session had 3 speakers lined up. After the break, TM Yashodan carried the table topic session forward. In business session, President announced about the Family Day, which is scheduled on April 26th. TM Hazel D'Souza, the general evaluation, did the general evaluation. The results were announced. The meeting was adjourned at 6:30 p.m.
We started at 3:45. And the detailed meeting minutes are already shared. We had 7 adopt the meeting minutes. Or thank you.
Whoever was there.
Well, it's ready here. You're ready? Yeah, okay. Medium Rekha and Toastmaster Geeta is secondary. We have in our team today, okay, again, we have continuing our legacy. 6 common level there. In all the
We have even one meeting.
no. But however, we issued all the distributors. Meetings we are not there. Okay, treasurer, please share your report. Okay. Let me do. Okay, treasurer part, I'll tell you about Club B. We are already Toastmasters, we have 31 members, and Club B as well, only 3 members are about to be, rest all the members are paid. Okay. And we are having 3 Kalyani annual drop down. So we have total 31 members now, 31 TMI members and 32 club members. Yeah. Including Dr. Suresh, that's only club. Good number. Yeah. Hopefully we'll continue. And when new more members will we'll add a few more members, hopefully for the next XCOM. And another thing about auditors, we already onboarded and we have provided the finances to auditor from the AGM. And we are sorting out the inventory part as well. We placed order for vehicles and all that's required, and it took a bit longer. And hopefully the order should, they dispatched on 30th of April. So hopefully we should get it back in the this. Okay, so before going to the VP at the profile, I'll ask our PPR, do you have any points? So again, on the VP education front, our next meeting will be on 31st May. And Toastmaster Manual will be with you, Muri, and DTM Pitambaram Nair will be general event. And Nobin will be reaching out to all the people for this. Yeah. And okay, our AGM will be on 28th June. 28th June, AGM will be on 28th. And okay, then one meeting we'll have it over here. AGM, we have to decide about the venue. I'm just checking this Crown Plaza. This Crown Plaza can be less expensive. Let's go further to some other options. That's it from my side. Is there any other points from the floor? Any questions? DCP, we got 9.5 then, and let's study the finish. Then we have done that. Yeah, present district club, we are already we are the first and third, second club. I think that point that we were.
We can still be competitive.
Yeah, yes. Slightly distant. So he will be giving his last speech in June 7th. 31st. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Good thing is he's aware.
Yeah. That's when I ensured that. And we are having backup as well. Video breakup. So, that's it from my side, and may call upon now our announcement coming. Announcements. Yeah. Okay.
Doubt, throw a joker. Yeah, games. Oh, 95 last. For the benefit of, yes, then few new members, nomination committee's role is to identify future leaders who will take the club with different roles such as the president, vice president of education. You have 7 committee roles, and the current president also becoming the immediate part of the president. So you have 8 members. The nominations committee, the joker, identify the 8 people, put them. This is a very, very brief role. And normally, as always, the immediate past president, which is myself, the 95 kilos guy who's 90 kilos guy, Joker, has taken on the role. However, with some able and outstanding contribution from Toastmaster Priyanka Gaikwad, who was part of the committee.
Model a joker.
No. And Toastmaster Owen Clark, who were the two aces, they hit the joke and made my job light.
So, Kumar, I just want to say, if you lose 5 kilos, you don't become a joker.
I think we want to.
I was just trying to say that I have lost weight.
Yeah.
But no one is talking about it, so let me speak about it. Yeah.
And nobody's observed.
Yeah.
Since that.
So, I got the stage, so I have to own it now.
Yeah.
So, they made my job light.
By 5 kilos.
And
New
there was a lot of, and the way the members responded. So I sincerely thank the members, Priyanka and as well as all the members who showed interest, who volunteered themselves, came up and stood. So we have about 7 shining diamonds plus 1 diamond who is going from this part to the other part. Now talking about light, are you all do you know the recent phenomenon about this Aurora Borealis going everywhere, right? I think maybe you can just probably put and show everybody the Aurora Borealis. The reason is, does anybody know how the Aurora Borealis actually works? It's very, very simple.
Pay money.
So we pay money, we go there as tourists. But however, there is a scientific phenomenon. Actually, what happens is because there is helium and hydrogen in the sun, which is the maximum. So what happens is when helium being lighter and hydrogen being heavier, when the fission happens, there is an unrest that happens because of the lighter gas merging with the heavier gas. So there are some storms, solar storms, that come out of the sun. So it's like it throws and it comes, splatters everywhere and it goes in all directions. But how does this happen? It happens because the earth is protected by magnetic field. So what happens is when these things are coming so fast on the sky, it gets thrown off by the magnetic field, and then it goes somehow, and because of the magnetic force, it's thrown onto the poles at the end. And because it interacts with the ionosphere, you have such lights. Now, why am I telling all this?
Are all the new EXCO members aliens?
No. The point is,
Lesser helium.
the point is, those diamonds which shine so beautifully, who have come from the sun called WMC, who are going to be binding with the magnetic force and with the magnetic force, and which is XCOM and all those meetings. I'm sure Robin appreciates that a lot. And they're going to shine like this for the next 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, with great pleasure, thanks to Priyanka, thanks to Robin, and thank you to all the members. Can we, sir, have the nomination committee report to see who are our own Aurora Borealis?
Remember, they are all 70 number, -2 is 5.
What is -2? That's correct. 5. Always remember the number 5. So, as Sergeant at Arms nominee, as Sergeant at Arms, Prabodhaji, as Sergeant at Arms, we have Toastmaster Prajosh Prabhakaran, who is being forwarded from the nominations committee. There is a beautiful writer, when he has given a description about himself. After this meeting, I'll forward that. Thank you again, Prajosh was very kind enough to do a beautiful story. So, yeah, and he said that let him read the story and come and talk about it. Yeah, so for the club treasurer, it is none other than Toastmaster Subramaniam, who has volunteered to be the treasurer. For the position of secretary, it is Toastmaster Anita Kumar Bhaskaran, who is, I think her son is celebrating a birthday, so. Yes. So going by the record, the EXCOM is missing.
They're carrying forward a legacy of.
Okay, we are none other than
Where is the story, Vivek?
Yeah. Coincidentally, we love the Harley Davidson. We don't want you to go away to Qatar or any place. Sorry that he said. Remember that we can now let Emmanuel go to Oman and the other places. So you can do all those. For the position of Vice President membership.
He wasn't jumping, but he looked like.
All the romantics in Bahrain.
Yeah.
Imagine him talking to the new members,
Yes.
telling them the love stories, telling them on board, more girls in the club. We love it. Not just that, he's a very senior member, so he would be able to explain those principles and those things that new members need, getting them on board, working with the education for getting the right mentor-mentee program going on, so it will be amazing. So for Vice President Education, we have none other than Toastmaster. She was there, she's gone to the agenda format. And any guesses, President? Any guesses?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I take.
There were whispers.
Oh, really?
Whispers.
And for the president, we
Enlightened
have
one.
none other than Toastmaster. The shift next year, he has made almost every role, every. So I think this is a cakewalk. I think, and he will now have an excuse to walk away from division and district event saying, no, I'm busy. I'm busy.
The green exit is still there for me if I can run out.
No, that's. Yeah. 90
WMC, we make sure that nobody.
And finally, there is always another member of NEXCOM, which you are convenient to forget, but he said, no, Riliman, and he is none other than our immediate past president of the new term, who's the current president.
Does he look like?
Owen Krasta. So, I got away by, kind of being there, not being there, but I believe, he has said that I have been, neither I was part of the EXCOM, nor I had anything, but I made sure that I've helped the EXCOM a lot. So,
The slide is ended here, but I think there's another guy. He's IIPP. Immediate to immediate past president. He is also there.
Reeling me in as well.
Yes.
With my role. Yes. However, this is just again for the benefit of all the guests and new members. This is the nomination committee's role is to front a candidate. The candidates will be elected in the AGM. And on the day of the AGM, there is a chief electoral officer. Unfortunately, it's supposed to be me, but I'm going on holiday. So I'm looking at who I can hand over. You can't cause of jokes likely, had a beautiful vice president education with whom I might probably hang the role. She doesn't know that yet, so it's a surprise to her as well. So I'll be happily attending the AGM from my day of class. On that day, what happens is there is a call out for candidates on the floor for each position. Once, twice, twice and twice. No one comes on board, then the candidate is elected, all except the immediate past president. That role is no one can change it. With that, ladies and gentlemen, back to you, Mr. President. If Indian Congress is very happy. Okay, Mr. President.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Vijay, for the speech, and I don't control back to my co-constituency. It's not about nomination.
You know, and some aliens. Does STK allow you to present?
The problem is
No, they
I
are
have
very wise.
I have to stick to the script over there. This is the place to experiment.
Very wise.
We forgot the telecommunication there, so.
Don't remind.
Don't remind of that. What he has lost.
Anyway, half the members were not there, so. And even the ExCom is not ready, so I think we bring my speech.
Okay.
Not at
Yeah, whenever we have a meeting, this is the beauty of a Toastmaster, or being a Toastmaster. You don't have to wait for your results like those poor kids who are waiting for their results and who did their exams for 10th and 12th. Here, irrespective of what your role is, you have somebody who will comment on and tell you where you can improve. Which are the areas that needs polishing. That role is done by G, which is the general evaluator. So for today's general evaluation, we have a Toastmaster, a dedicated person in the Toastmaster arena, well known. He is a member of 2 clubs. Been with the Toastmaster fraternity for quite some time. He also is part of the District 56, one of the clubs there. And the other thing that I got to know was, there are a lot of Arab-oriented clubs. Even in Bahrain, we have these clubs. And he is not an Arab, which was quite surprising to me because he comes across or looks like an Arab in person. So I was a little surprised when he said he's not Arab. But he took part in an Arabic competition and he also won.
Wow. That's like snatching me from the lion's den.
That's our general evaluator, Toastmaster group to address and tell us where we can improve.
Thank you very much, Mr. Silverji, and I'm very grateful to WMC and Toastmasters to be here again. We called upon to participate in your wonderful club. I really enjoy the meetings, even though they get delayed. I remember the first time when I became a general evaluator for this session. The DMOD said, from the beginning, we are always going to be late. And that's the tradition. That's all right. So I came to expect that and I'm okay. Now, I have today's session was very nice for me. And I really liked the word of the day that was in, and I will be giving my detailed comments about it. But we had 3 wonderful speeches today that we listened to. And they're really related to the childhood that we had. You know, the first speech talked about reminiscing of various and embracing the previous. And as children, we have already have a lot of these things, and that's how we grow. But the one thing that we always have in the childhood that we lose in our adulthood is to
forget that failures and successes are the same. You become too serious. That's a fall that you. If you look at children, they fall, they stand up and they run off. That's an idea that we should have. That was wonderfully expressed. The second speech talked about how we can learn from books and how we have to have friends. Wonderful talk about it. And it actually reminded me of multiple things, like, the way she says that introvert and extrovert. For me, it became something like for introverts, books are friends. Books become our friends. So they don't like you. But to really become an extrovert, they have to realize or make a change in your character that your friends should not become books. When your friend becomes book, you start reading. You go from hearing to listening. And that was a wonderful concept that I learned. And the third speech that was there was, again, it made us reminisce about our childhood and how we are actually parenting our children. What do we play? How do we play the game? And these are the wonderful speeches I have. Now, this is what I learned. But now I'm going to call upon all the evaluators of today's speakers and ask them what did they learn and what can they recommend to our speakers to improve. So, without further ado, let me call upon the evaluator for first speech the icebreaker speech by Toastmaster Hita Krishna, ATM Manoj Pandey. ATM Manoj, over to you. Yeah, before that time, sorry, my mistake, sorry. Mr. Timer, can I kindly request the time taken by all the speakers, please?
The time taken by Toastmaster Hita was 6 minutes 1 second. DTM Rekha took 7 minutes 29 seconds. And Toastmaster Sajid took 6 minutes 21 seconds.
Thank you. So all are qualified. Thank you. Over to you.
We're a very confident, elegant, eloquent, soft-spoken person comes and starts the speech. It's really a treat for you. You were such speaker. You had a speech which content was from your heart. It demonstrated how you have a sense for the nature, how sensible you were with your surrounding, and the way you expressed all that you felt. You carrying yourself a great speaker, that is what I saw. Your speech organization skill is also to become very good. As an icebreaker speech, I can ask anyone present in the hall that it never appeared to us that it was your first icebreaker speech. Now, there are a few recommendations. Let me point out 3. The first, choose your mentor wisely, don't no choice. But it means that read the objective and your speech should be addressing those objectives. That is one thing. Second thing, know how to use your mentor. So, well in advance, speak that what you are going to say and reorganize if needed. Your delivery was excellent, but always had a practice that you did today. So keep it in mind, practice daily practice. So today your practice was well. Use your mentor for at least 3 to 4 speeches very soon, the way it should. Now, above that, I saw today that it was your first speech. That is a part of the learning when you start sitting here observing and listening to all other speakers. Naturally, we come to know the stage uses and the movement that you had without purpose today. There is something that you can just improve with the very next speech itself with just a little observation. Apart from all that, concluding, you have an excellent speaker within you. Keep trying, keep performing, and let us observe and experience the great Pita Krishna giving the greatest speeches.
Thank you, Divya, Andre, for this wonderful evaluation. And you notice the complementary style of how the speeches were used, what the actual speech and evaluations. The speech was given in poetic form. And she talked about poetry. But the way Dr. Pandey, Dr. Pandey also spoke today, even though it was not poetic, but he used the voice flow or voice modulation to make it look like it was poetry. And these are the small nuances that we learn on how to communicate with each other. Very wonderful done. Thank you. Now, let me call upon our second evaluator for our speaker detail breakout, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, for his evaluation.
You don't see the world as you are. You see the world. You don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. General evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, most honored guest, and speaker, PTM red time. Ladies and gentlemen, have you observed this superb speech, which was delivered in 7 minutes 29 seconds, which had that beautiful narrative. It was very captivating personal experiences, dynamic dialogue, and a profound message, all spiced up with beautiful humor. Have you observed? Yes? Yes. Make sure that when you come here on stage, you also have such a very methodical, organized structure. So, fellow Toastmasters, what I observed in the speaker today, two things that I enjoyed very much. Number one, of course, as I mentioned, that systematic structure of the speech, where every element was in balance. Personal experiences, humor, profound message, dialogues, everything beautifully coming up live, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Second thing, what is the crux of the speech? The essence of the speech is a speaker who was shy of communicating, reminiscing her past, who was reluctant to communicate, who was unwilling to speak, is forced to communicate. Not only communicate with compassion, communicate with sympathy and empathy, communicate with the fellow team. Because she lands a job, as she mentioned very rightly, a people's job, where she is forced to do that. This whole metamorphosis, this transformation from being a very unwilling communicator to a compassionate communicator, that is the crux of the whole speech. Now, every great speech, of course, has certain scope for further improvement. I have some simple, humble suggestions, not very dramatic as such. Today, speaker's delivery was not very hurried or at lightning speed or at breakneck speed, but still I feel it could be still a little bit unhurried. Still it could be slowed down. That's what I feel. Second thing, I could see traces of uneasiness or tension or edgy feel while on stage. This could be overcome in the next speeches. I could still feel that edginess. Number three, what I have not seen the speech is the pauses. I could not see much of a pause. For example, let's take one example. Communication is not what you say, but what they listen. See and feel a pause. 3 to 4 seconds. That pause really elevates the speech. It also gives the time for the speaker to process. It also shows that you are in command. I thoroughly enjoyed. I wish you great speaker, video breakout, and all the very best for the speech.
Thank you so much for him for that one wonderful evaluation and even giving this specific recommendations. Again, a complementary speech evaluation. It's like the yin and yang. Our speaker was talking about the speech was introvert, then we had a evaluator who was extrovert. Talk about it. Wonderfully done. Thank you. Now let me call upon our third evaluator or our third speaker, Toastmaster Saji Kumar, Toastmaster Emmanuel Williams. Please give this evaluation on.
Parenting is a Game was the title of speech of Saji, my speaker this evening. If there's one game that was very well played, I think it was your speech, for sure. Not because I am supposed to be only saying something very significantly good, but it's because I've seen your previous speech versus how you had actually done it today. So there's been a significant improvement in certain areas of your speech. And I think that is a great start to this journey within Toastmasters. So, good evening, Toastmaster of the day, good evening, our general evaluator, fellow Toastmasters. So, I'm going to give you some great points that you've done and some points that you could probably utilize in terms of how you could come across as a better speaker within the structure. So, one of the fantastic points that you ensured was being present, right? So I felt that there was a lot of your presence in the stage in itself, where you were showing so much of body language and confidence. So that was one of the fantastic points that you did. You also ensured there was a lot of inclusion because your eye contact was fantastic. You asked a couple of questions of the show of hands and things like that. So there was engagement at that level. It was very smooth. Right? There was you were very natural to a large extent. You were very yourself. It was your speech was almost like you're having a conversation. Now that's a pro, but this also can be seen as a different perspective in Toastmasters. So I'm coming to that in just a minute. There was also humor in it, which at least I find it very difficult to put humor in my speech. That was great. You also took us a journey through your personal stories, right? So every example you gave, right from the time you started of how you would parent your children, to how the different points that you were talking about in terms of tools that can be improved for all of us as a structure. There are certain things, however, you could do a little more better. For example, one of the things was, I'm going to give it to you in about 4 S's, right? So that you can remember this very easily. Not too often people actually get a chance to remember. So your stage movement, which often I am also being corrected at, right? So I think it was a little biased in the beginning, and you could work on that. Now, since I don't think I'm the most qualified person to say that, but I will, there are plenty of seasoned people over here in Toastmasters how that works out. Structure to your speech. Remember, for every speech, there has to be a structure in terms, you have an introduction, you have a body, you have a conclusion, and you have something called the CTA, which is call to action. So there are 4 parts to a speech. I would suggest that you take note of that. Voice modulation, strike your voice modulation, and speed of speech, which you can also look at. So in summation, your stage movement, your structure of speech, strike your voice modulation, and the speed of speech. Otherwise, I think it's a great thing.
Emmanuel for that Again, I agree with this, explanation given by the speaker or evaluator today. The speech was excellent, but it had to have some structure where some filling is required. And that's what. So I know you had a lot of enthusiasm, things to say, and we listen to them, but let's keep a structure. And again, we are in Toastmasters to learn about structure, like table topics, like when we do table topics. We want to be able to bring our thoughts together and bring structure to it in a matter of seconds. That's what we learn. And this is again, as I said, safe environment. One of the comments that I would like to say, and I always say to all the people is, all the evaluators' recommendations, and even the G's, these are all personal opinions. You take what you want from them. If you feel that even we give a recommendation, ultimate criticism, you don't like it, you don't have to. You are the best person to decide what you want to improve, how you want to improve. For all of the speakers, this is my recommendation. Just hold this as a thought, keep this in mind. At the end, you decide what you want to do. Thank you. With this, let me call upon again our timer to please give an overview, the time taken by the evaluators and the tabletop speakers and the overall overview.
The timings by the evaluators that DTM Manoj took 3 minutes 5 seconds, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman took 3 minutes 24 seconds, Toastmaster Emmanuel took 3 minutes 19 seconds, and when it comes to the tabletop, Ananya took 1 minute 25 seconds, Toastmaster Prabhupada took 1 minute 54 seconds, and Toastmaster Sukumar took 1 minute 39 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you for all of your timer. I typically don't like the timer rule personally myself, not because it is difficult, because instead of focusing on the speaker, I have to focus on the watch. And this is a sacrifice that timers make. And we have to appreciate that for anyone taking the. Thank you. Now, let me call upon first our grammarian to give the report on how the grammar and the word of the day was used.
Good afternoon, respected Toastmasters and respected GE. So the word wasn't used that much, but I did catch it quite a few times. Along with Toastmaster Gita, who helped me sometimes. So, surprisingly,
First time we are hearing the first time.
I am an honest Canadian. I wouldn't be able to. So, Toastmaster will use the word of the day one time, Toastmaster Norm use it one time, Toastmaster Gita one time, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim use it the most times, 3 times, Toastmaster Prabhupada used it one time, and Toastmaster Farooq Khalid used it twice. Forgive me if I missed out your word. And moving on, I heard about very beautiful idioms, proverbs, terms, as well as some messed up grammar in some places. Let's talk about the good stuff first. One line which I really liked was challenging the beauty of nature through poetry. Center of attention for all the wrong reasons. That's kind of funny. We have to firefight. It's a nice term to put in. Slit it off. Don't see the world as it is. No, you don't see the world as it is. You see it as you are. Edging and yin and yang. Now moving on to some of the grammatical errors. Let that experience to use as an opportunity. It could be use that experience as an opportunity. What did I write here? Bound of vulnerability and imperfections. It's supposed to be vulnerability and infection. I don't know what I mean. There are lots of fighting. There was a lot of fighting, or it could be told better. Days is gone. It could be days are gone, and there were a few more grammatical errors and use of conjunctions and all of that. It's still the club somewhat lacks in these areas, and I believe we must, focus more towards that. Overall, thank you all for having me as a grammarian.
And I think applause is naturally for the way he played the role, but also I think it's thank you for being all jittery. And I really like the way that you look at most of the time Grammarlians also forget like the misuse of words, the phrases that we. But again, it's good to point them out because we are here to learn. Sometimes we are too enthusiastic to use some phrases or even the word of the day, but we use it wrongly. But this is the safest place that we learn about. And thank you for doing that in a very positive way. Please give him a big round of applause. Let's come about to the most dangerous report that we have to discipline, which is the R-counter report. Because whatever we do, there's always going to be R's and M's in all of this. The best person to learn how to control that is the person who either talks slow or knows how to pause so that we cannot do it. So please let us welcome our R-counter for the day, Toastmaster Padmashi.
Thank you. Today, I didn't write much because most of the speakers were amazing. And actually, DTM Rekha used only one R. Dr. Sajikumar used 4 R's and 4 lights. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A positive R-counter for you. And that's a great. That shows that even while we were having fun, we were controlling our arsenals. Well done, appears. So before I let me just give an overview of how the meeting went. Again, as the WMC tradition, I think we started about 7 minutes late. Is that early?
Yeah.
Yes.
But if I look at the timing, I think that the way the president tried to manage the timing was very well done. He actually brought it back to nearly 3 minutes overtime. So the Toastmaster of the day was supposed to be in 16:15. He was managed to do that in 3 minutes. So he covered that. But again, the TMOD, we brought back the tradition. Okay, no problem. I don't mind. But I really like the way the president inaugurated it. It was great to start. He had enthusiasm. He even sang for us. How many presidents do that for their work? Very interesting. And also made us reminiscences about the family day that was celebrated, made everyone thank the sponsors. Very good. This was an excellent start and an excellent way to start the whole meeting. Now let us come to his role in the business. Then I have some comments. The business session appeared to me like a one-man. Okay, where is the X-Norm? Again, as a guest. The president was answering all the things that he was presenting. Now, again, it's a personal recommendation from my side. If some of the X-Norm are not able to attend, why don't you WMC think about how many committee or the officers or the subcommittee? At least somebody can present on their behalf. Because there is a lot of work that goes on. This meeting did not happen by chance. Yes. There's a lot of work being done now. There's a lot of work being done to make this girl of the standard that you want to be members of. As you said, you have 31 members of the union. That's a great achievement. The way the district is going right now, that's a very great achievement. It's not happening just in a volley. There's a lot of work that is going on. And I really have loved to see that report. And I suggest I would have loved to learn from it. That was something that I missed. And I would recommend for the next committee now, think about it. Maybe have somebody as a committee so they can shadow you and become the next. role player after that, officer for that. The TMOD, what can I say about the TMOD? It always actually make things easy, make it accurate.
Yeah.
And wonderfully done. But I have a recommendation for you. As a TMOD, you're also the captain of the ship. There are times when you control the time. You have to sacrifice some of the things that I know you had a lot of things to say, and you did that very well. But sometimes we have to sacrifice for the sake of that, and we have to ensure that we don't take the spotlight from others. And also ensure that we put a spotlight on. One of the smallest things that I can notice for that one is the way you introduce the speakers. I would recommend introducing the speakers in the proper form. Make it structured. Topic, speaker, speaker, topic. And do it with a gusto so that they feel like they are coming on stage with an enthusiasm. You have to push that because all the speakers, again, they will become a speaker. I'm a bit nervous. Even after all these years, I'm still nervous. But if I'm introduced with gusto, with enthusiasm, that makes the whole audience perception change and also encourages the speaker to do their best. That is my minor recommendation. Otherwise, well done and good job. It's not an easy job being Toastmaster of the day. There's certainly a lot of things. Getting it done. Well done. Thank you. Now let me come to the other role players, which is the table topic master. The table topic master explaining the choice of his topics. He wanted to bring some seriousness, which is good. Now again, I would have preferred if the topics were kept simple. Again, my personal preference. Okay, my recommendation. You may have another conflict, you may want to do that. But again, as I said, it's my keep it simple, keep it light. Everybody can understand. Now, if you have a tough topic, make sure you start with an experienced speaker first. Do not, and I don't personally, I recommend that any table topic to start with a seasoned speaker. So they set the stage for everybody else. It was fortunate today that we had a guest who was very well rehearsed and very well skilled. So that was it. But it's sometimes not always it happens. Okay. So that is my minor recommendation. Keep it simple and make sure the purpose of table topics is really purpose to make the non-participating members to feel that I can participate, I can do it. The topic is easy. Let me say anything I want on that. This is the way we get guests and everybody to feel it's a safe environment and make them also understand that public speaking is not a challenge. It's an easy thing to do. So that's my personal recommendation for you as a table topic. Again, for the CAT team, I already said what they did. Great job by all of you. And I really understand that you are people, the CAT team is the one who sacrifices, really enjoying the session because they are focused on their duties. And again, thank you again for your sacrifice and much. With this, I finish my oration for the GE session and hand it back to the Toastmaster.
Take a round of applause again to the. Great. You can vote. It's on your.
Best table topic speaker, DTM Dr. Babu is there. Wow.
That's a mistake, I guess. Earlier timing were there.
Okay.
We just selected.
Okay.
Because we ran short of time, so I asked table topic master to cut short. So that's what we did.
Okay.
Last bit of my challenge you is, surprise yourself by doing something that you really want to do, and doing it now. And don't let that child in you hide. And I'll give the camera back to our president.
Thank you, Toastmaster Murali, for doing a fantastic job. Give him a round of applause, please. And GMOD on stage, and maybe, express yourself, generally evaluated, I'll just ask the guests. Ananya, your opinion, feedback, for the slide and.
The session was nice. I always enjoy a good, any Toastmaster session, so even back at the galleries, it's always nice experiencing and like witnessing people speak. Because everyone has a different experiences to come forward with, and it's always nice to hear them. And somewhere you also relate to that when DDM I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Was speaking. I would kind of relate to that myself as an introvert when like I maybe so much college and everything. So it's always nice, and it was a really lovely session. Thank you, everyone.
With William Pandey.
As I always say, I love Toastmasters meeting. I may grumble on being forced to stay back in this meeting, but but even after being with the people who are like a lot more age difference, are in a lot of age difference with me. But in fact, I get to learn a lot of things through their experience, and I'm just very thankful for that, which I get to learn. Thank you.
Thank you. Results are out or Brandon? Out or
She's got a problem, so.
Oh, she has a problem.
Yeah, so.
So everybody's the winner.
No, he's the one who's been doing it, but she's not able to collect the sheet. So, I think we're gonna, wait for someone else.
Oh, okay. So then we'll just start off.
Maybe you can fix the sheet and the next.
Same time? No, yeah, I guess, in this case, icebreaker, anyway, we are having one icebreaker speak. So, yeah.
Yeah.
General evaluator, please, come and take the chair. We'll hand over the icebreaker. Yeah, only icebreaker. Yeah. Yeah, please come. We call upon stage Toastmaster Hita Krishna. One minute. First, right? Yeah. No. Is there anybody who'd like to fill, they write down the names from, give a couple of awards? Any suggestions or anything to do? Yes, of course, one point is this, they've used the WMC club ID she must have used, she had some problems, so she couldn't use it. So that's the reason it went to her personal email. Yeah. Technical glitch. Give me 1 minute.
You should know. He is the IT guy.
Take 1 minute.
You kept them standing.
I'm okay. I can back to the I know I will not be bored.
Yeah.
Okay, we will give the awards and please inform me. We'll announce the other 2 awards later, but we'll give 2 awards for the best table topic commentator award. I'd like to call upon Ananya. Ribbon as well. Yeah. Photograph, please. Photograph. Yeah. Then there is an award we give for building best TMOD, general evaluator and table topic master. The award goes to Toastmaster Farooq Kader.
Very kind agreement. When we post it, because you can't read it, I'll say it for the D and you will say it for the TM.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We are not very late. We started at 4:05 and we are ending 4:07 and we are ending by 3:6. Father, I'm back. So I hereby